All right, guys, we continue to try to get better. Any questions?
Freddie, training camp is always a grind, right? But is there a method to the tedious grind out there with you? I mean, relentless inside running almost every day. 'Cause that's obviously your philosophy, right?
Well, I definitely think there's a method. We're not just out there for our health per se. We're out there trying to get something accomplished, and you're trying to develop a mentally and physically strong, tough-minded, hardened, battle-tested football team before you get to the games that actual count.
So that's the significance.
Yes, I believe so. Yep.
Hey, Freddie, at the end of practice, I know you were without Seth and Demetrius, and that David wasn't in for one period. So Pharaoh Brown was running with the ones. What do you need to see out of him? I know he was here at the end of last year, but what do you need to see out of him if he gets those moments?
Constant improvement on an everyday basis. We don't ask too much of our guys. We just ask them to make the plays that are there to be made, and if they're not in position to be made, put it on me. But we just want the plays to be made that are there, and I want him to control the line of scrimmage when he's asked to do so.
Does he need to be more consistent catching the ball? It feels like he has drops tonight.
I think if you ask everybody, they'd like to be more consistent catching the ball, and that's what we're looking for. Consistency across the board. And Tony, going back to your question, I don't know any other way to do it. I really don't. I know football is a game about being physical and being tough-minded, and that's the only way I know about going about doing it.
And, you know you're not going to have Kareem Hunt the first 8 games. You're now in your 7th practice. Are you getting a little concerned about getting him working?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. He'll be back. He's getting close. We also don't want to, do anything to injure him further. So no, I'm not concerned at all. He knows what he's doing from a knowledge standpoint. He was here all spring. He knows what to do from a knowledge standpoint. It's just, actually getting him to work now.
7 days in, Freddie, have you gotten any more clarity on that kicking battle?
No, I haven't. Hopefully those guys continue to compete. Competing is on them, and I'll continue to do my job, and Prefer continue to do his job, and putting them in situations where they can demonstrate how much better they've gotten.
What you said, are you concerned with inconsistencies on both of them, or how would you put
Again, I'd like to see the kicks go through the uprights, and I'd like that done consistently. I'm pretty sure if you ask them, they would like the same thing. Now we just got to get to the point where we're doing it, and that's just to continue. The only thing I know to do is continue to put them in those situations, and hopefully they get more and more comfortable doing it, because the situations will not change. They're always going to be in there. Every time they're kicking, they're going to have a situation where they have to put it through the uprights. That situation is not going to change, because it's not going to change during the course of the year.
Talk about your plans yet for the team scrimmage, the format, favorite?
Yeah, we do. We have a format, and it's going to be a lot more move the ball, like guys see out here. A lot more move the ball, but we're going to the stadium to get some work done. We're not going to put on a show.
But still, one's the first ones.
Yeah, always.
Freddie, yesterday you ran a lot of situational stuff, weren't exactly thrilled with some of the outcomes there. You did the same thing today. What did you like from what you saw today? It seemed like you got a little better response.
Yeah, I think some of it with these guys, it's just a new environment from the standpoint of what they're used to. And we've got a bunch of guys from other places. I don't know what they do, nor do I care, and what they've done here before, I don't really care. So some of it's just a product of having a new environment and what to expect. I'm getting what I expected from a effort standpoint, but some of the consistency on how the plays that we make and things like that, we're not. And that's the situations we want to continue to put them in. So yes, I was more happy today, and mainly because right now at this point in time, I'm not worried about really the success or not success of the play. I'm worried about the understanding of us being a smart football team. That's what I was very upset with yesterday, was we've got to be a smart football team. Games are won and lost because you're not smart enough to recognize the situation and adjust to the situation and make a play accordingly, whatever that play may be.
Freddie, how do you feel about your impact on the situation?
I feel very good about it. I feel very good about all four of those guys. All four of those guys, well, all three of the backups are continuing to get better. David had some good throws today. Garrett's had a pretty good camp up to this point. And Drew, I've been with Drew for a long time. So, I mean, I think he's demonstrated that today, that he knows how to run the offense and successfully.
How important is having good quarterback situation?
Well, I think it's very critical, but more so than that, or just as much as that, I think it's good to have a quarterback room that's very supportive, because those guys do a lot of work during the course of the week that maybe the starting quarterback can't get to or can't do. You know, in Arizona, we had a quarterback room that was like excellent from the standpoint of I was in the quarterback room. It was Carson, our starter, and we had Drew. And Ryan Lindley was one of those guys at one point in time. Then we let him go, and then we brought another guy in. But you kind of just train those guys to do whatever they can do to support the starting quarterback. And they collectively in that room have that one goal in mind, and everybody takes ownership of the starting quarterback.
I feel like you have a unique situation because obviously they always have to turn and he has a relationship with the quarterback from high school.
Yeah, I think it's a very unique situation. You know, they argue all the time about who's the top-rated quarterback or who is the highest-rated quarterback coming out of high school and stuff like that. Baker always pulls the trump card on him toward the end, but you know, they've got a good relationship. It's good to see. You know, at the core of everything that we're doing here, I think you guys know how I feel about the players and how the players will. I don't know how they feel about me, but I have a pretty good idea how they feel about me. I want them to feel that way about each other, because if we can grow that, all right, they're more likely to fight and go to war with each other, in a sense, on a Sunday, all right, and lay it out there and be accountable to each other. And that's how you win football games in this business.
Todd Monken mentioned that Callaway came in out of shape. Did you have to challenge him when he came back here and talk to him about that?
Yeah, I think everybody's been challenged up to this point. But, you know, Tonio knows what's expected out of him. And, you know, his best day was today. He does seem like he needed a little pushing, but he also knew what was expected out of him. So he came back and he's worked his tail off for the last week. And I think it's showing up by, you know, him getting in better shape.
Chan Thomas, I think, missed his second straight day with an illness. Is that anything that's going to keep him out for a while?
You know, we don't think so. We just don't want him. You know, he just doesn't feel good right now.
Freddie, were you?
I don't want to elaborate because we don't really, as last time I checked, we don't really know what it is. I mean, we don't think it's anything serious or anything like that. It's just a stomach bug or something.
Are you?
So being very like, you know, then you get into issues with dehydration and stuff like that. We're just being very cautious with that.
Get better timing in the pauses.
Yeah. And go ahead. They're usually not this rowdy, CJ. All right.
You, sometimes we see you coaching him up. Talking today, you just upset with the angle he took, or did he just didn't finish the play right at the line of scrimmage?
When was it in the?
It was a running period.
Okay, in the middle of practice.
Yeah.
I was, you know, we need to wrap up. We need to wrap up, and whether we're taking them to the ground or not doesn't matter. The point of contact and the arms need to be around them. You know, the working on the technique of tackling needs to be shown every time. That's not a sometime thing. So tackling, take them to the ground, that's kind of a, you know, that will happen if you do everything else leading up to that point to get them on the ground. You just don't take them on the ground. So, you know, I didn't like it. And it's my prerogative. I want form, I want technique. Steve and them are working their tails off trying to get that. And when I don't see it, it's getting corrected.
Yeah,
I try not to let anything slide at all.
Like the aggression, his aggression, which you, again, we're talking about a team that's trying to get better at finishing plays.
Yeah.
Tackling.
Exactly. And I do like the aggression. You can't teach aggression, all right? You can teach tackling. So that's where we sit with him. We'll teach him how to tackle. But I want him to bring his feet and bring his hands, bring his arms, all right? That's how we tackle. We don't try to knock everybody out on every. I mean, you're going to play some pretty big guys, you're just going to knock everybody out. So you better know how to tackle. And unless we get that, I'm not going to be happy. We're not going to let anything slide.
I know
So.
you and Mike have, from day one, said that everyone on the roster is fair game for use on special teams.
Excuse me.
I saw Jarvis the last couple of days. He was kind of getting some reps off the gun punts, if you will.
Right.
Could you just touch on the idea? Are you guys really considering using Jarvis as one of your punt returners?
Everybody's on the ready right now. We're trying to find the best. You always have to factor in offense, defense, and special teams in every decision you make. But we're going to try to put our best 11 offense, best 11 defense, and best 11 special teams guys out there every time. So, short answer to your question is yes.
We good?
CJ, what you got, man?
How do you keep your team so well organized?
Well, CJ, there's a lot of planning that goes into that, and hopefully that's why you have a good staff, all right, so you can tell them exactly what you want, and then they have the same vision that you have, and then we go out and do it. And we have a practice schedule that everybody stays on course with during the course of the day, and they're marked off by 10-minute periods, 5-minute periods, 15-minute periods, and then that loud horn that you hear blow out there, that switches to the next one. So then it has on there going lateral on the sheet of paper, it has where to place the ball, what period it is, whether it's a running period, a passing period, or whatever. And then we have another sheet of paper that tells you the plays that you're going to run within that period, within that section. All right, anything else? That's it? No more? Can I ask you one? What high school do you go to? What's that? Oh, very nice. What grade? Fourth grade. I would have swore that you were like in 10th grade. Girlfriend? Huh? No girlfriend? Dog? What's your dog's name? Mickey. How old's Mickey? 80 in dog years. Wow. So what does that make him, like 7 probably? 11? What kind of dog is it? Really? Very nice. Does he catch a ball? Will he fetch? Will he? Can you throw it for him? Throw it far? Okay. Are you ready to go back to school, or you enjoy summer? Both. You enjoy summer? Okay. Well, I appreciate you coming today. All right, and you're welcome anytime, okay? All right, buddy. You want to bang it out, or are we shaking? I'm more into shaking, all right? All right. Nice to have you here, CJ. All right, buddy. See you guys. Thank you.